I know that you and him spent a nice, long, 2 big trips together.
Alright, to the Atlanta Air Exchange Tour in Griffin, Georgia, about an hour south. So we've got most of the morning to do that before the show opens. Good way to kill the time.
No.
Going away from
We'll check that out at some point during the show, so stay tuned for that.
We're going to have an hour? We get there at 9:30? Yeah, 10. Yeah, it's going to be an hour. Which is hilarious. It is, but...
When you have a consistent product that you deliver, people come and keep returning to you.
Right.
It's like certain restaurants. They keep...
Yeah, because we've had that vent open the whole time.
There it is, off to the right. Now,
there's vents for anybody that needs it.
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, no.
now it's known as the Echo Park Speedway.
The views are nice. You relax. Because it's a really great it's all about spending time with good company.
Is there a left up right here?
Make a left, okay.
Yeah, take that left.
That's gonna go behind the hangars.
That's the point, because we need to go back here.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Unless we're supposed to check in down over here, but I doubt it.
Doesn't look right.
And just keep going all the way around these hangars straight.
It's a scrap yard.
Oh, okay. You gotta go back down to that airport.
We're literally on a taxiway right now. There's a helicopter landing.
This is hilarious.
You see that helicopter?
Alright, there's the graveyard. I found it. Yeah, I took us the wrong way. I thought that was it. I sincerely apologize. But we got some bonus shots out of the deal, so. See, I thought that kind of looked like a graveyard from the satellite, but that'll help enable it for tomorrow.
It's pretty cool.
I've never flown a weekend former. I flew Frontier for my first time recently, and I love it.
Like a JSX airframe or something?
I flew Frontier for my first time, and I liked it.
I could certainly take one though.
Yeah, don't get the guy.
Good to have some complimentary water bottles. Some distilled water with electrolytes added for taste. Brought to you by Simple Truth. Not sponsored.
I didn't see those. 757.
Quebec Juliet.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Into the shop. Wow.
Feels good here.
Planes to strip over there.
So I'll make this semi-quick so my guys won't go. Here all the way down we have your little knick-knacky bolts, pins, rods, whatever you can think of that'll actually fit in this thing. So once it goes from here, it goes on one of those gray racks. All the way down to the end of the building over there to the right, there's going to be inventory. They will put it in saying as removed. If it comes with certs, with some of the stuff we do get it through here, it comes with certs. If it comes with certs, they put all that in the computer so when somebody calls, we're able to just
I mean, look at this one. It's got mud.
I think I got mud in there.
Everything in it, yeah.
Oh, mud guy.
Yeah. I think we could salvage that filter.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than this.
Either this one or that one. I can't remember. He had painted it to disguise it when he flew it to Switzerland and they stood there. So, the U.S. government cannot be tricked. So it's either one of these. I can't remember, but that's.
I want to say
Ukrainian flag.
So probably this one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then And these are going to be the Saudi Arabian princes. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the ones that are by the dumpsters. And, you know,
These three.
yeah.
Kind of different when they were down.
Yeah. I know.
Wow.
Yeah. So once we get here, then we can receive the
Pretty impressive back here.
Yeah. Very fascinating.
Mindful of what
Very
you're
steady
stepping
new
on.
experience.
Just watch your step a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just watch
You
where
don't want
you're-
to step on the nail.
or step on someone's slipper.
Yeah.
Someone's slipper they left behind.
Granted, that's a great car.
This falcon here, and what's left of the falcon is we bought this after an accident. This thing was involved. We were looking up in Greenville, South Carolina. I think there was something about brake failure. I can't remember. I don't know the story about that.
Whose old car is back here? That's pretty cool right there, right next to me. There's like a strap system. Yep. Just a big old collection of GA aircraft, biz jets, prop aircraft. I think this is a 400, Hawker 400. And then some like early 50s automobile. Perhaps got abandoned here and just left to rot away in the Georgia sun. They hear planes flying over us too near from ATL, even though we are an hour south, but the planes still fly pretty low over here.
Quite a fascinating story from those days, right?
Yep, every one of these planes has a story to tell.
I told them,
You always look up those stories.
It's the old DC-3, at least part of it.
but if you're going to sit on it, you're asking $4,000 or $5,000 for just something that's got
My husband does welding and
things that are active. I think right now we have 85 planes that are under investigation. Years, 4 or 5 years before installed. The NTSB may come out with a statement, but that doesn't mean the lawyers have not for that tail up there. It was bad. We had to do some cleaning up, but he just started throwing planes back out here, and every time he got done stripping them, he'd buy random things like that. He bought some things from Indonesia. He bought some things from Alaska.
Yep.
He bought some things
Can't go wrong.
from Japan. Wherever he could buy a cheap airplane, he bought. And back then, shipping was not what it is today. It would be a lot cheaper to get something shipped and moved. But he flew all over the world traveling, just getting airplanes from start to finish. And he started out with 3 J3 Cubs, 2 strip. And that started the entire business. He said every time he wanted to do something like pour a concrete pad for the building or put up a fence, somebody'd come by and pour them.
I'm not meaning to, it's salad. Used to just mess with my lanyard at work, so
Well, you missed your line with the charge.
I messed with
Nice effects.
You got a shirt? Everybody got a shirt?
All right, just a quick intermission here as we close out on this Atlanta Air Exchange video. Sorry I didn't have too many video clips to use. There were some restrictions put in place as to which aircraft that we couldn't photograph on, understandably so. There's some things that are involved with them, so we could not photograph them. So I kind of wanted to play a little bit safe with having a little less footage, but I did take some pictures as well that I'll go ahead and show here over the next couple minutes or so. So this is one of the first aircraft that we saw walking in November, I think this is 850 Delta Charlie. Just kind of hanging out here with some caution tape around it, and it is a It's a Beechcraft B60 Duke, which I am not very familiar with in terms of the type. I've never heard of a B60 Duke, but it looks like, yeah, it's someone from like Delaware, I think it was, that had this aircraft before, but looks really cool right there. Very nice aircraft. First time catching a B60 technically. And then there's Connor right in front of another one of the aircraft that they're working on scrapping. This one I believe was like a C-90 King Air. E-90 actually. So this specific one looks like it's a very old one. It was built in 73, which is very interesting. And then this is just a random collection of aircraft parts that they have, just kind of hanging out over here. A lot of various parts and everything just kind of hanging out. So very awesome collection that they have of just aircraft parts and whatnot, because they just scrap aircraft and part them out. So they just got this big old collection of parts that just hang out over here. So very cool to see that. And then this, I believe, was like an old Huey helicopter from the Vietnam War, I want to say, if I remember right, just based on what the tour guide told us. But you can see this one has essentially been parted out. All of the critical components have been taken out, and now it's just the helicopter skin that's left and just a U.S. Army marking on it. Now, there is some tail markings. I think that says 14182 on the tail there, so I'll just look that up. Just do a quick search. Probably not going to find too much on it. I think this might be something to do with the 227th Assault Helicopter Battalion. That's what it looks like. I think this might be where it came from, because there are some UH-1 Hueys listed in here. So I think, yeah, that does sound about right. But I couldn't tell you the exact tail number just based on the image that I took here of this aircraft. And then this is just a shot of the former JSX Embraer ERJ that they had here, which they just have the fuselage, which they're just working on scrapping. And then the last photo that I have here is just their various collection of fuselages of GA aircraft. So there's some King Airs in there, and then there's some larger biz jets. So very good collection that they have here, and you know, there's a bunch of different registrations. A lot of these aircraft just been parted out, and all that's left is the fuselage. So all the critical components taken out, and now the fuselages just sit here. So not much going on there. But either way, very good tour that we took as part of Airliners International with the various aircraft that they were just parting out, scrapping, and just trying to dispose of. And then that car that I showed you is actually someone's Hudson Hornet that works at the boneyard. So just hanging out there. I think they're working on it. But very cool that there is a Hudson Hornet there, because I've never seen one in person. If you're a NASCAR guy, Herb Thomas may ring a bell, because that's what he drove for much of his career and made that car pretty much famous, and part of why the character Doc in Cars is modeled after a Hudson Hornet too. So very cool story there with that car. But either way, this is a fantastic tour, and I'm very fortunate to have gone on this with Connor as part of Airliners International in Atlanta. So very good to have taken a tour of this, and super excited for what's next.
We even have a that's an MD-88 airliner. It's not an MD-88.
Well, JJ,
Yes, sir.
thoughts?
Great tour. Now let's get to the convention.
Oh, there's one school bus, so that's the shuttle right there.
We're gonna have to see how that shuttle does.
I'm sure it'll do just fine.
Well, Marana, Arizona, you can call it. Marana, you can call, like, walk down the sky. Marana, Arizona, you can Phoenix, Tucson. You can actually, oh, we didn't love it, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, because the one is.
This is a very strange seat. I don't know why it does this. Connor, I think I got the broken seat as well.